Hi, everybody. It is episode 592 of PodQuest.
Hey.
It is Wednesday, December 17th, 2025. I am Chris. With me is Druten
Hello.
and Walnut.
Yeah, I'm here.
Are you sure? You sound uncertain.
I'm always uncertain, man. It's just life is hectic right now, man. There's just so much going on, so much I have to do. It's
I don't believe
crazy, dude. I when we're done this, I'm making a video for my reaction to Monster Hunter Wilds, the final update, and then I still have to cut and edit. Still have to edit and render the video for both OneQuest and my channel for Saturday for Trombone Champions. And then after our board game night on Friday, I'm going to have to cut and edit that video for the following Friday. So
Nope, no videos that night.
it's just, well, I mean, that it's not going to edit that. I'll edit it during the weekend or something, but like
No
I've just been
videos will be recorded.
There will be a video recorded. It will. It will. It will. It'll be a good one. It'll be fun. But it's just been it's been a very busy couple of weeks, and I forgot the Game Awards were this weekend, and I was just like, shit. Or not even this. Oh, was it Thursday or Friday? And like
Thursday, I think.
Thursday. Yeah, they're usually on Thursday.
And they had some stuff, like some things, and like I did a whole let's pick my winners video, or let's vote video. Which that if I'm gonna do like a reaction to the winners and whatnot, that's not coming out for like fucking 3 weeks now because of how time falls. Unless I record that this week and this week I'm doing 3 vlogs instead of doing 2 Let's Plays in a vlog because of timing and how things are laying out. It's just like I kind of need to release now rather than wait 2 weeks and it be old news and stuff like that. It's busy, man. It's busy.
Well, speaking of busy, what's on the agenda?
On the agenda, I had a cookie stream, so I just want to talk about it and give you guys a quick recap about it. We all should have watched Lethal Weapon. And then Monster Hunter Wilds got its final update for the base game, barring like a small mini update in February. Cobb, you watched the Game Awards, as we just previously discussed a little bit. And then I saw the ending of My Hero Academia, and I've got feelings. So yeah, we're gonna talk about that. Cobb's already read it, so I don't care to spoil it. I'm going to straight up spoil it, so
it was kind of
just
mid.
Be prepared. Yeah, it's shonen, but we'll get into that.
That's a bad excuse.
It's expected. It's shonen. They win with the power of friendship. That's fucking shonen.
No, I meant the actual ending disappointing. Assuming it ended the same way as.
Yeah, I'm sure it did.
But cool. Talk about cookies.
So I did my cookie stream. I've been talking about it, hyping it up over the last 2 months. If you have lived under a rock or not gotten to the end of this stream every year, or end of the recordings each month, end of the year or near the end of the year, I do a charity fundraiser stream where I bake cookies and I give away boxes of cookies. And generally, I give away 1 box of cookies. But this year, I did it a little bit differently. I was trying to make it a little bit bigger and a little bit more exciting. And like 2 years ago, the first year we did it, we didn't even make enough money to cover shipping. So I didn't get to donate anything. Last year we made $60 after shipping. So I then matched that with another $60. So we donated $120 total, but viewer donations were $60. This year we broke $200. So we donated $200 to Phil Abundance, which is, I believe it's Philadelphia's largest food bank, and they do Philly, the general Philly area, some South Jersey and stuff like that. And I was blown away because Cobb, you showed up like midday, and to be honest, it was very slow all day.
By the time I tuned in, it was actually near the end. Like it was after work for me.
Yeah, like I didn't really get my first donation. I started at 9-ish, and I don't think I got my first donation until after 1. And I really didn't get a lot of interactivity and chatting throughout like the first 2 or 3 hours. It was slow. And then I started feeling drained about not even halfway through. I was just like, man, this is so many cookies. I'm getting tired. I'm getting exhausted. I'm getting a little bored. And like I do this on stream because it is a long day and I'd rather have people to talk to and like do like the whole body doubling shit so that like I've got people to talk to, hang out with, that keep me going, so I'm not just sitting there in my kitchen bored all day. And but like I had people in and out throughout the day, and it was a good day. just listening to music, baking cookies. And at one point, Cobb, you donated, and we broke $100 when you donated, and I was blown away. And I was like, all right, well, we're gonna raise it to 200, and if we reach 200, we're gonna do a third box of cookies. And as the day went on, we got closer and closer and closer to that 200 mark, but it wasn't until right before I was about to do the drawing where I was like, guys, I can't quite see the number, but the bar is very small. We are this close to $200. And somebody's like, here you go. And we broke 200. I was like, holy shit. Oh my God, that's amazing. So I do the drawings. Cobb won one of the boxes of cookies. It's not rigged, I promise. It's recorded. I like to do it live, so and I make sure everyone can see it. Cobb won a box. A new follower won a box, and my friend Magoop, who I've known since I started streaming, who's also a streamer, they won a box as well. The boxes got shipped out on Monday, except yours, Cobb, so you're getting it on Friday because I'm not paying to ship it to your house. I could have driven there. Like, were you home on Monday? You work from home sometimes, right?
Yes, Monday afternoon I was home.
I could have driven them to your house on Monday. Could have. But I didn't, because I'm going to see you Friday, and they'll be fine. Yeah, and it was an incredible time, and I was super excited. We had one person who came in and donated after the drawing. I was like, dude, I'm so sorry. We just did the drawing. He's like, I don't care. I'm here to donate. I don't care that I'm not winning the cookies. I'm like, that's awesome. Thank you so much. So it's over $200 plus I'm going to do $50 myself. And I decided to keep the fundraiser open till the end of the month. So it's going to be
nice,
a little bit better. Like if people want to continue to donate, they can. But yeah, it was an awesome time. Got so many cookies made and so many cookies given away, and I'm almost out of cookies, shockingly. I filled those boxes up because I wanted as few cookies as possible left in my house because I shouldn't be eating them. But yeah, it was great. It was awesome, and I appreciate everyone who was there, everyone who donated, and I said this on my recap posts that I did on social media. If we continue to get this big, I'm going to need a bigger kitchen and potentially have to hire people to come help me do this. If we do more than 200 next year, at this point, I was making double batches. If we do more than $200 next year, I may need to do a triple batch instead of a double batch, just to get that many more cookies. Because some of the boxes go to my friends, whether they donate or not. These are Christmas gifts for my friends. And then the boxes for whoever donates goes whoever donates. And if we get to $300 next year or $400 next year, that's 5 boxes I have to give away. I'm going to need to make more cookies. So I'm going to need a bigger kitchen or a bigger oven and some people to help me cook this shit because it's going to be a lot.
There are places where you can rent oven space essentially or kitchen
That
space.
To be honest, that is goals for what this event is. My goal for one of these years is for it to be big enough to where I can rent out a professional kitchen space and do this in a big studio kitchen space. Obviously, nice. That would be too expensive to do it now in my little setup, in my small streamer setup. But if I ever get big, probably never. But if I ever get big, that's the goal down the line, is to be able to rent out a studio kitchen space and do it in one of those with more industrial equipment and stuff like that to just make it easier and to be able to just get cookies done left and right and whatnot. And maybe the stream wouldn't be 10 hours. Maybe it'd only be 6 or 7 because we have more oven space. But honestly, the marathon stream, it also makes it more fun. But yeah, it was 9 o'clock till about 7 o'clock. So we didn't quite make the 12-hour mark like we did last year, but we didn't make one of the cookies that takes longer to make this year. So there was more time, and there was less downtime when it came to those cookies. But yeah, that's it. That's all. Just wanted a quick recap, and thank everyone for coming.
Awesome. Well, then we shall move on to Lethal Weapon.
Yeah.
What did you guys think of Lethal Weapon from 1987? The best of the Christmas movies.
That movie is an incredibly 80s movie.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree with that.
It literally opens up with a half-naked woman doing cocaine.
Yep.
Yep.
And then jumping out of a building.
I was so uncomfortable for Donald Glover for his first scene because obviously the actor's not naked in the bathroom.
That's
Danny Glover.
wrong.
Danny Glover. Sorry. I was so uncomfortable for him in his first scene because the last thing I would want when I'm sitting in a tub butt ass naked is my entire family to come inside and sing happy birthday to me. And I was just like, that's just weird because his dong's just hanging out inside this freaking tub. And all of his kids are sitting there saying happy birthday, giving him hugs and kisses. And like, no, don't bother me in the fucking tub. Don't do it.
I mean, yes, but also, it seemed like that was not the first time that happened.
No, like it was made to show that he's such a family man, and it's like they're a close-knit, tight family and whatnot, and things like that. Like, I understand the vibes. It's just uncomfortable for me, and not because like it was inherently any sort of sexual or anything. It's just like as a person, I don't want my kids coming into my bathroom when I'm naked in a tub. That's just weird. I don't want it. I don't want it. It was funny though.
Yeah, and like the whole movie doesn't hold up, but I think that movie actually still works pretty well. Like there weren't a whole lot of like, oh, that's not okay moments.
Yeah.
I mean, there was really only one moment that I can think of where it was like, that's not okay, and they were talking about the Asian dude who was the torturer. Like, I can't remember what they called him, but I think it was a racial slur.
Yeah, I think you're right.
But like, other than that, I don't think there was anything like too like, all right, this wouldn't work today kind of thing. I don't remember though. But yeah, like, I mean, look, this movie is why I'm gonna make a joke. I'm gonna make a joke here. Is this movie why police brutality is such on a high rise because everyone saw Lethal Weapon and how you can just like fight people in with cops surrounding you and be okay?
That is the best part of the movie is Danny Glover just going, I take responsibility for this. Yeah. And just letting them fight on his front lawn.
Yeah. Which like besides the fact that this guy was just the big bad, or this not even the big bad, he was the secondary big bad.
He was the muscle.
He was the muscle, and he was Dolph Lundgren, and so not Dolph Lundgren, Gary Busey. So
I was gonna say, man, you're batting 0 so far with knowing people.
No, I will say he kind of gives Dolph Lundgren vibes. So he was Gary Busey, and so you have to give him that big scene because he's a big name in that time. It would have been better if maybe they would have given us a little bit of like backstory that he's also the reason Riggs' wife was dead or something like that.
Yeah, so it did seem just a little extra unnecessary.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they really didn't like, he didn't get utilized very well, like, because it really was one of those, he's not even in the movie until 3/4 of the way through it, maybe more.
Gary Busey?
Yeah.
No, he was in it pretty early on, but like he wasn't in it a lot, is what you're saying. But like,
yeah, like he didn't really have a presence in it until basically around when the desert stuff happened.
He didn't ever. Well, it was he didn't have a presence until they went to the girl's dad and he was shot at her funeral.
Yeah, exactly.
From the helicopter. But yeah, like he was in it briefly early on because he was the one who got his hand burned or his arm burned by the lighter.
Right, mm-hmm. right.
But like, yeah, like he just that having that fight was like it didn't make sense why the fight was between Riggs and Josh.
Yeah, I mean, look, the biggest thing is they were both from like a similar military background.
Yeah,
and there was the line when Riggs was being tortured that he was going to kill them both. So like, but like I agree, there wasn't enough. Like there needed to be something else there. Like rather than them just having both been like Marines or whatever like that.
Special ops in like fucking Vietnam War, of all things.
Have them both have been from like the same like company or something like that, you know? Like have some sort of like a shared history where they never got along.
They had the same tattoo.
Yeah, but that was not that he literally says that's like a special forces tattoo, but there's never any indication that they knew each other outside of that.
I think it was, yeah, like there was no indication that they knew each other, but they were supposed to have been from the same special ops organization type of deal-y thing.
But like, doesn't
But they
mean much.
didn't,
Like that they're
yeah,
different ages, which means they would have been
yeah,
through it at different times or just on different like sides of the world. Like,
yeah, it was just like, so like the motivation there was like it wasn't quite hitting, but like again, they needed to do that big fight to show how much of a badass Riggs was.
yeah. They also it. I just thought this was funny. They aged up Danny Glover like 9 years.
Mhm.
So this movie starts out with them wishing him a happy 50th birthday. He was only 41 in real life.
I was honestly surprised he was that old. I went and looked. I was like, he's not 50 when they did this movie. And
What?
if it said he was like 35, I'd have believed it.
They were both in the Vietnam War. Both Riggs and Murtaugh were in the Vietnam War. Were part of the war. They're almost the same age.
They are 10 years apart. Like, so I should say in real life, they're 10 years apart.
Yeah.
And Riggs is supposed to be younger, for sure.
Yeah, but he was special ops in the Vietnam War.
Do they don't say the Vietnam War. They say he did something else.
They straight up said he was an assassin or special ops in the Vietnam War.
Mm-hmm.
And they mention Laos multiple times, which is Vietnam. I believe it's Vietnam's capital city.
No, Laos is a country that's right next to them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that was actually why I didn't think he was in Vietnam specifically, because he specifically said that he assassinated people in Laos.
Okay. I do remember him saying he was also in Vietnam, if not specifically the Vietnam War. Like that is just like a major
also
misinterpretation
that wouldn't be unreasonable either. Like even in his 30s, like this was 87. Like if he was supposed to be like mid to late 30s, he would have been in his 20s when the Vietnam War was happening.
I'm not saying that it's like unlikely that he's going to be like the young hotshot cop or whatever, but what I'm saying is Murtaugh and Riggs were both in the same war together. They both served in the same war together. They are not that much different in age from each other.
I mean that's also not necessarily true.
Yeah, because you figure like, and frankly, like Murtaugh could have actually been like somebody that enlisted younger. So I actually brought the Wikipedia for the characters. So Riggs joined the U.S. Army at age 19, eventually becoming Army Special Forces, receiving special training in weaponry and hand-to-hand combat. Most of Riggs' time in Special Forces is in Vietnam, where he serves as an assassin. And that's where it also mentions like the Laos thing. And then where is Danny Glover? Well, not Danny Glover, but his character, Murtaugh. Come on, media. I hate when they don't link to things like correctly.
Mm-hmm.
Man, his Wikipedia page is not nearly as detailed as Riggs. But let's see. He was a lieutenant in the 173rd Airborne Brigade in the U.S. Army. Served in Vietnam. He joined the police department in '67. That is funny that they really did age him up a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it does not tell us like it tells us how old he is, but it doesn't look like you ever get an actual age for Riggs. So he's left kind of open-ended for that.
I'll also admit I didn't realize the Vietnam War was 20 years.
Yep.
According to Google, I didn't realize the Vietnam War was from 55 to 75.
Yeah, the majority of what you think of is like in the 60s into the 70s.
I honestly thought it was no more than maybe 2 or 3 years, because we lost, and so we don't really learn much about it.
But I mean, that is also why like the 60s were like the hippie years, because at that point like the war had already been going on.
Mm-hmm.
So that was like the no war era.
Yeah.
But
it's all right. So okay, it can make sense that that they are that much younger from each other. But yeah, the fact that they aged him up 10 years is ridiculous.
Yeah.
And then the fact that he saw his daughter and it looked like he had the hots for her at the very beginning when she's like, "This is my New Year's dress," and he was like, "Oh my god!" Or like the way he acted was just like, Look, I get it. It's the '80s, but you don't look at your daughter like that. You don't.
I mean,
I didn't. I
actually
got
didn't
the
notice
vibe.
that.
I got the vibe of like him trying to just not be the asshole dad and go, you can't wear that.
Well, like
Not
he
the
did. Well, no, because like he wasn't sexualizing her, but he was just like he was looking at her like, oh my god, she's gorgeous, like, but she's hot. And as he's walking out, he was like, she's gonna be a heartbreaker, like. But it's still like the way he acted when he saw her and like then didn't say anything. It was just like it was a little bit of a okay. The way it's just the way it was portrayed. I understand what they were going for, but I feel like the '80s acting was just very '80s in this, and it was
I
just a
mean,
little
because it's a very 80s
yeah,
movie for sure.
yeah.
But
But like
fun nonetheless.
overall, yeah, it's a solid movie. Like it makes
yeah.
sense that they had what 4 sequels, something like that. I think there was
Yeah,
4 Lethal Weapons,
4 sequels and a TV series
and they said the title in the movie.
they did.
that they did. Also, so I just found this out when we watched it last night. The At the beginning of the movie when Riggs is trying to buy the drugs at the Christmas tree lot. One of those guys is apparently the father of Anthony Kiedis, the singer of the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Nice,
Yeah, but
nice.
I suppose we need to pick something for next time.
Yeah, and we struggled so hard finding this movie. I haven't looked up and tried to find any other sort of Christmas adjacent movies.
So there's Edward Scissorhands, which is the other one I found from last time.
Right, yeah.
And the problem was like there are a ton of them.
They're just
None of them are just on streaming. And like
then yeah.
even Lethal Weapon went last night. It was on Amazon. Today it's not.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can always just do Edward Scissorhands.
I mean, let's just do Edward Scissorhands. I honestly can't tell you.
Have something?
Did American Psycho really happen during Christmas?
I think so. Yeah.
Oh yeah, at a Christmas party, just dinner with Alan. Huh, right.
Is that
I
on
totally
anything?
forgot that happens at Christmas.
Apparently it's on Amazon for now, and it's the extended version as well.
It is. Yeah, it does appear to be on Amazon. You want to do American Psycho?
Sure.
Fuck
Drew?
them.
All right.
Watch that movie again.
Cool. All right. So the next not Christmas movie is American Psycho in 2 weeks.
I don't know if you've ever seen it. The band Ice Nine Kills has a song where they parody a scene. The one. Do you like Huey Lewis scene from American Psycho? They do that in one of their music videos with Jacoby Shaddix from.
Oh, nice. Papa Roach.
Papa Roach. He's Alan, and the singer is Patrick Bateman.
Okay, so I've actually never seen American Psycho. I know like broad strokes.
Okay.
And like I've seen
all
like
the movies,
the clips and the gifs and stuff like that, but somehow I've just never seen it.
Of all the movies you've seen, I'm surprised you've never seen American Psycho.
Yeah, I'm not sure why I never have watched it. It's just one of those movies like I just never actually saw it.
Yeah.
I own this movie.
Oh wow.
I fucking
the one movie you own.
You know, we actually own a fair amount of movies.
Let's be realistic. Sarah probably owns a fair amount of movies. You just don't.
That's why I said we. I might
fair.
even have like a.
Damn. All right. What is next on this list? Rich, do you want to complain about Monster Hunter?
It's not actually complaining. Is so it's the final major update of the main game. The only complaint is like, yeah, they kind of dropped the ball with everything else in this game. But for the whole wrap up of this, like they did good with what they added, and it's just more of at this point it doesn't make sense as to why I should keep playing because I defeated the final boss. But defeating the final boss gets you the parts you need to upgrade your weapons and make them stronger, and they can become incredibly strong if you get lucky because it's all based on random loot tables for the most part. But like, or random generated tables. But for the most, like, it was a good ending, and we're definitely getting the expansion probably June or July. And hopefully they focus on getting us more and better content for that expansion. and get this game working properly and stable on PC. The game is a year old, it's not even a year old, and they're ending it, which is
Oh
like,
wow,
I
yeah,
guess
that did come out the beginning of the year, right? Like
it
February.
came out in February, so it's not even a year old, and normally these games last a little bit longer. Um, and I thought it generally takes longer for the expansion, but a year and a half is about the time frame for it. And so Monster Hunter Rise came out in March and Sunbreak came out in June of the following year. So while it's coming out in February, we're looking at June, July, honestly May, but probably June or July of this year. But honestly, I can see them maybe just pushing it back until like fall of next year. But like, it's a fun fight. There's one part of it that's kind of a pain in the ass, but overall it's a fun fight. It's not a major DPS check. It's not a pain in the ass like the last update that they gave us that crossed over with Final Fantasy 14, because fuck that fight. It's the worst fight in the world. Um, and it added a bunch of cool features that just like also at the same time, I don't know why I should keep playing though. Like, because we defeated the final boss, what's the point? What's the point to keep playing after defeating the final boss?
Wasn't
I
the
mean,
point of these games like you have to do the fights multiple times
I mean, to get the armor, yes. But what's the point when you've already defeated the final boss?
to get the armor?
Okay, and after you get the armor, what's the point? There's nothing after this. This
I mean
is it
that is
until the expansion. That's my point.
100% all of the armors.
I mean, I could probably do that with before this even came out. I probably could have gotten all the armors. But that's always the strange thing of the life cycle of the fact that we're getting in February is a stronger version of a monster that's already been in the game that no one really even cares to fight anymore because it's not really going to give you that good of an armor set. Like, this monster does a lot in getting you like in updating and maybe turning this update in general, and this monster updates your final weapons to become stronger and updates and makes it so that early game armors can be considered meta for late game use. But overall, like, after you defeat the monster, this is something I always struggle with, is after I defeat the final monster, I don't really have a reason to play this game again because I don't do time trials. I don't try to get the timer. Like, and the final boss is an 8-player hunt, or is an 8-hunter hunt with 4 computer hunters and up to 4 player characters, or you and 7 computer hunters, 7 AI hunters.
So what I'm hearing from this is you don't like Monster Hunter anymore.
No, I love Monster Hunter. I love the game. The Christmas event starts on Friday. I'll probably play and do that. And then like the Arc-Tempered Arcveld comes out on in February. I'll play that, and I'll probably jump into it maybe a little bit more frequently because there's actual content I want to play, as opposed to the last update being a Mega Planetest being the worst fucking thing I ever experienced in my life, and I never want to play that thing again. But like, yeah, I haven't touched the game since late October, and I'm still somehow top 10% on Twitch of playing the game. But it's
no one else has touched it since September.
No, pretty much everyone would probably be in the same boat. No one else had touched it since late October when the Halloween event ended. But yeah, no, it's a cool update. What they're doing with increasing your weapons and maybe making the armor lower tier armor more meta capable, and potentially, I haven't even looked at the armor for the final boss, and the final boss fight is fun, minus the second to last phase, or the final phase, really. Like, the final phase is a pain in the ass because he does nothing but fly around in the air, and you gotta stagger him by grabbing parts off the ground and shooting them at him. So it's kind of a pain in the ass, but for the most part, like, it works and it's fun, and like, I'm excited to see how much a little bit stronger I can get. But once I get all my fire and dragon weapons at the highest strength capable to defeat this monster, I don't really see a need in upgrading all the rest of my weapons because I've been doing fine with the rest of my weapons prior to now. But yeah, it was good, and I'm like, they made good on like, here's actual good end game content. The end game loop just is gonna be a little boring because it's just fighting one specific monster, or like it's fighting like 5 of the same monsters over and over and over to get the parts you need to make the random equipment, rather than like the guiding lands in Wild or in World. And I honestly can't remember what they did for Sunbreak. Oh, Sunbreak had the anomaly quests, which were really fun. Like they had some cool quests like that in the previous games. This one is just like, oh, fight the same 5 monsters, 6 monsters. It's like, all right, I'll do it. These some of these are fun fights. Let's just get into it. But like, yeah, it's weird. Um, and they kind of it's felt to me for a while that Monster Hunter Wilds was an afterthought to Capcom, and with
Especially for how like as much as I like shit on those games just because I don't like them, like it really is a big franchise.
it
Capcom
is
really has two major franchises. It's Monster Hunter and Resident Evil,
yeah
and they really seem to have dropped the ball.
it is their biggest franchise. Like, it really is. But because they had Monster Hunter Wilds, Monster Hunter Stories 3, and Resident Evil 9 coming out very rapid, like Monster Hunter Wilds was last year, Resident Evil 9 is a year after Wilds, and Stories 3 comes out in March. It's like you stopped focusing on your main title that still kind of runs pretty bad on PC at times. It's taken them almost a year to start doing performance fixes. And they said by February the performance fixes should be completed. By a year after the game was released, performance should be better for PC. But they started patches for performance with this update. Like, what took you so long? You should, honestly, in my opinion, you should have kind of pulled a Final Fantasy 14 and Square Enix, and you should have, like, not paused everything, but you should have gotten all hands on deck to get the performance issues fixed for your biggest fucking title, and the only thing you released in 2025. I think they also released a Street Fighter, but who gives a shit? Like, you had one game in 2025. You should have dropped everything to get that working 100% when the performance issues were started. But they didn't. And now it's taken almost a year for the performance. And I know people who have not played it because they can't play it, because of the performance issues. Not because their PC's bad, because of the performance issues. And now, after a year, they're finally going to get to play it. And it's like, I lost so many people who I knew were playing that and wanted to play it because of performance. I never had many major issues. I had some issues, but nothing major. But yeah, it's the game itself, like, it's combat wise, it's one of my favorite games. Or it's my favorite Monster Hunter based on the combat. But like support wise from Capcom, it is the worst Monster Hunter compared to any of the others when it comes to support and content updates. The worst. And that's even saying it's worse than the 3DS ones that still got monthly updates for free.
Yeah.
But yeah, Gogmazios is a fun fight. The new content that they added to it is interesting. I'll probably maybe play it once every other week or something like that instead of once a week. It really depends on when I beat Expedition 33, which I still have so much to explore in that game before I go to the ending. I could beat it now if I wanted to, but there's so much to do in that game. So much. I could go to the end right now if I wanted to.
Well,
but there's so many places I haven't gone to yet.
Well, speaking of Expedition 33, are we ready to move along?
Yeah, let's go.
So, Game Awards were this past week, on last Thursday, whatever date that was, the 11th, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And Expedition 33 like swept the show. It won, I think, 9 total awards, including Game of the Year.
I saw somewhere 11, but like I'm not entirely sure.
I think it was up for 11 and it won 9.
Yeah, it was
up for 13. I think is what you said, Cobb.
So I did a count actually on an IGN list that I'm looking at. It looks like it was nominated for 11 individual awards, but it actually was under it 3 different actors were nominated for best performance.
So they added, because Jennifer English won and not Ben Starr and Charlie Cox, it doesn't count them as winning those 2 awards.
Yeah, exactly.
That's stupid. Come on.
Even though like only one of the 3 people could do it. I will also say, so Ben Starr was sitting behind Jennifer English at the awards, And when they announced her as the winner, he looked more excited for her than she did. Like
Oh,
she
yeah.
looked, she was shocked, and he was like screaming like with excitement. It
Yeah.
was yeah.
Ben Starr is a
But
fantastic man. Like, I love Ben Starr, and like, I'm sure he's won enough probably that he's like, I want somebody else to win some of these things.
but yeah, so 9 awards, including Game of the Year, Best Performance, Best Art Direction, Best Music. Also, funny enough, it won Best Independent Game and
Mm-hmm.
Best Debut Indie Game.
Mm-hmm.
Because like even though it's like a big AAA game, like it is an independent studio that has no ties to any of the big publishers.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
It is. It's
yeah,
an indie game.
yeah, best narrative, best game direction, like it really did like clean up. And I forget what studio, some other studio that was up for one of the awards it lost out on. That it was a Kingdom Come Deliverance people. Were real salty about it, apparently. I forget exactly what they said, but like the head of that studio or like somebody fairly high up like was like basically talking shit after the awards.
Oh, probably best RPG.
Yeah, yeah, I think that was the one. But aside from that, this was maybe the first year I can remember where this actually felt more like an award show and less like a commercial. Like,
Mm-hmm.
still had a ton of like trailers and ads and all that stuff, but I feel like they actually like took a little bit more time to like make it feel like a proper award show.
Yeah.
Um, there were still like in the half hour like pre-show, there were still like the quick winner things, like all the esports stuff, all that's done in the pre-show. Things like best family game and mobile game and shit were all pre-show. But they at least gave a chance for some of the people that were, I guess, there to give like quick speeches during that too. So like Nintendo won for Donkey Kong Bonanza for best family game, and Doug Bowser was there, accepted the award, like and all that. One of my favorite wins though, and Drew, you'll appreciate this. Best esport game of the year, Counter-Strike 2.
Yeah, game's still
Yeah.
cranking out.
25 years later, there is not a better esports game than Counter-Strike 2.
I mean, hey, Counter Strike 2 is only
Wait, what?
yeah.
You're talking Counter-Strike is 25 years old. CS2 came out 2 years ago.
Jesus,
Remember, there
I
was a
was
time
thinking,
where I was
yeah,
confused because you were calling it CS2 and I thought you were talking City Skylines 2, which also came out 2 years ago.
I was thinking of Condition Zero
Or
being 20 years old.
Source, or
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
but like the number after like and while zero isn't necessarily a number, but like in my head I was going like, no, there was a Counter Strike from 20 years ago that had a number after it.
Mm-hmm.
But still, like Counter Strike being the best esports game, good for them. Good for them. Then you had like No Man's Sky won best ongoing game, which I thought was kind of crazy. South of Midnight won games for Impact, which I thought that was actually a really good game. Hades 2
Mm-hmm.
won. Drew, Final Fantasy Tactics, the Evil East Chronicles won best strategy game.
hell yeah.
Baldur's Gate won best community support. Like, like I feel like a lot of like good games actually did win. So Battlefield 6 for some reason won best audio design. Like I guess it's got good audio design, but didn't
I mean,
expect
I'd
the
imagine
Battlefield 6 win.
I mean, I've heard good things about Battlefield 6, and in all the old Battlefield games, they definitely would always put a like high level of accuracy into like the gun sounds and making sure
That is true.
you can tell where the gunshots are coming from.
Yeah.
Because with how big the maps are, it is very important to be able
Yeah.
to pinpoint that shit.
Like the music and everything in Expedition 33 is amazing, but I wouldn't really put that in towards the idea of audio design because like that is definitely something that like it's audio design is in the level of sound cues and things like that for multiplayer or what's around you. Like there's not a lot of in Expedition 33 there are a number of attacks that you can figure out when to parry based on their noise, but it's not frequent enough. And so the design of the audio is just the music and nothing else. So I totally understand a game like Battlefield winning over that.
Yeah,
But like Expedition 33 won score and music, so duh, like it makes sense.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like it was a good award show,
Mm-hmm.
and there were actually some cool reveals. Some things that like were apparently like already kind of known. But Rich, did you see the new game from Larian?
I heard that Larian has like some sort of trailer out for something. I haven't watched any of the trailers or anything. To be honest, I'm very bitter because Capcom fucking spoiled their own fucking game that Leon's gonna be in it. Like,
Yeah,
why the fuck would you do that? Like, no one
well,
knew Chris was going to be in Resident Evil 7 until you played Resident Evil 7 and beat the fucking game.
yeah, but so here's the thing. It sounds like this one is going to be more like older Resident Evils, where you're going to just have two paths and two different characters. So when you're playing as the female lead, that is the survival horror. When you're playing as Leon, it's an action game.
Come
So
on,
like,
fuck off. Like,
yeah,
if that's really what they're doing, maybe
that's
like, but
that is
like,
literally what they said at the award show. Like that is how they explained it.
I don't like. It would have been nice to have that surprise.
Yeah, Grace's gameplay will be. Oh, after rumors and leaks, a new trailer for the Game Awards revealed Resident Evil staple Leon Kennedy is returning for next year's Resident Evil Requiem as a playable character. Grace's gameplay will be survival horror, while Leon's will be more action focused.
So it's gonna be you're jumping back and forth between the two. It's not gonna be
Yeah,
picking one or the other. You're gonna jump back and forth between the two. But like, keep that a surprise. Like, I haven't watched the leak. I haven't read the leaks. I haven't been keeping up on this game. I know I'm buying this, so I don't look into it. I don't.
but there are
Yeah,
some people that probably weren't, and knowing
yeah,
that Leon's in
but
it, they are now going to buy it.
exactly what I was going to say.
I
Because
see.
there are a lot of people that like the more modern, action-oriented Resident Evil
No,
that were probably put
nobody likes the action-oriented Resident Evils.
Don't you like 6 more than 4?
or 5 more than 4, or something like that.
Where's my list? But they're both at the bottom of my list, though. That's the problem. Like, it's. I don't like 4 because it's too much like an arena shooter. It's not that like it diverged too far away from the classic survival horror style.
But you have to remember too,
5046.
4 is the game that everybody loves more than anything. Even though most people that say that have not played it in 20 years. So they want to try and
Well, I mean,
capitalize on that.
the 4 just came out with a remake.
No, it did, but the people that defend 4 staunchly probably didn't play the remake. They probably just have their nostalgia glasses on for the game they played in 2005. But the Larian game that I was asking about, it's a new Divinity game, and it looks fucking wild. Like it was an all cinematic trailer, but it was like this weird festival, and they had like these like giant like wicker Burning Man statue things that they lit on fire. Only there was a man inside one of them, and they were just burning him alive. And then like as he was burning alive, his blood started like spawning demons and shit. It was wild.
Yeah.
But that game looks really cool. They announced what I think is maybe a sequel to Knights of the Old Republic, with Star Wars, Fate of the Old Republic.
Yeah, I saw that.
And like again, like it was all cinematic. Like the cinematics looked really good. If it's anything like Knights of the Old Republic, I imagine it'll be a good game. My one kind of like, I don't know, hesitation with it is like the big thing they're talking about with it is Casey Hudson is directing it, but like he hasn't directed a good game in I think 20 years. And his last game, Anthem, completely bombed. And I think he actually left before it even released because it was not shaping up to be a great game. So like I don't know that his name being tied to it is that much of a selling point at this point. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I am interested to see what it is because Knights of the Republic, great games. I'm just scrolling through the thing. We also got, and Rich, you might care about this a little bit. 2 new Tomb Raider games were announced. That are they look to be like.
Well, one is like a remake of Tomb Raider 1.
Yeah, it's like it's not a full. It's not like a direct remake. It's I think they called it a reimagining of Tomb Raider 1. And then the other one is going back to like, let's call it like the original timeline.
Mm-hmm.
Like they actually in the trailer they reference things from like some of those like the original run of games before they did the hard reset with what was it? Rise of the Tomb Raider was the first one in that trilogy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Um,
Or I think it was just the first one was Tomb Raider. I don't
oh,
remember.
you're right. It was Tomb Raider, then Rise of the Tomb Raider, then Shadow of the Tomb Raider.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, but yeah, like they both looked really good. It looks like they might be. It looks like the new game looks like it might be closer to the vibe of like the reboot games and like your Uncharted. It's like a little more like exploration and combat. Whereas obviously the reimagining of the originals will probably be like a lot of actual exploration and puzzle solving because it's kind of what those games were built on.
Yeah.
And then the only other there's only two other games that really jumped out at me. One of them just because I know it, like Drew, you particularly liked it. There's going to be a Control sequel.
Yeah.
Control Resonant got announced.
That should hopefully.
Yeah, and like the little bit they showed of it did look pretty cool. And that was one of the games where they actually had like a weird like stage production go on for it. The same thing with the Larian game. Like they had a bunch of actors come out before the actual trailer rolled for it, which was neat. And then there's this other game I'm trying to find it on this list because I forget the actual name. But it looked stupid in like a fun way. Stupid Never Dies. It's got like a kind of like an anime art style. But do you guys remember the game or the movie from I don't know 10-ish years ago? About it was called Warm Bodies. It was like during the zombie apocalypse, but like this one zombie like basically like regained sentience and like fell in love with like a not zombie.
Vaguely.
It had Nicholas Hoult, who was just Lex Luthor in Superman and was Beast in the Days of Future Past timeline X-Men movies. It kind of reminds me of that a little bit. It's like a zombie that doesn't eat people that seems like to have his intelligence still, fighting other zombies with like some high school girl. But like the art style and everything and soundtrack just seemed pretty cool. So I'm interested to see what it actually ends up being like. And it's from GP Track 50, which is a studio made up of Devil May Cry, Dragon's Dogma, and Resident Evil veterans. So could actually be kind of cool. Oh, apparently he can transform into a werewolf and summon other zombies. I did not realize that from the trailer. But other than that, Drew, you mentioned that some of the Diablo stuff that happened.
Yeah, so during the Game Awards, they announced the release date for the next expansion for Diablo 4 next April, and then they decided, you know what? We said there's going to be 2 new characters in it. We're going to give you one now if you pre-order it, and they just put the Paladin into Diablo 4 right now. And so I've played. I'm up to like level 50 with one. They basically took the Diablo 2 Paladin and the Diablo 3 Crusader and like mashed their skills together, and it's been pretty fun so far. Haven't gotten to like actually play as part of a party at all, like although some of the people that used to play Diablo 4 with might be getting back into it to like really make use of their aura or whatever, although there's random people running around all the time, so that does still pop off a little bit. But yeah, it's cool. It's the Paladin, more or less,
Nice.
with like I said, a handful of the abilities from the Crusader from Diablo 3, which made sense to just kind of tie those 2 characters together.
Nice. Yeah, I'd kind of forgotten that they like basically soft launched it until you mentioned it before we started recording. It's like, oh, right, they did do that, didn't they?
Yeah, and I'm wondering what the other character is going to be. Like, is it going to be something new, or is it going to be like the assassin or something from Diablo 2?
Have they are there any characters other than the assassin that they haven't used since like Diablo 2?
Diablo, I mean, I guess they haven't used the Valkyrie in Diablo 2. They haven't used the character with like that uses like fling spears as their main weapon.
Isn't it the Amazon?
Amazon, yeah, that's what it's called, Diablo 2. But like they brought the rogue back in this one, bows with. They kind of merged the Diablo 1 rogue and the Diablo 3 Manhunter for the rogue in Diablo 4. So yeah, like of characters they have used before but haven't in Diablo 4, it's assassin and monk and witch doctor.
Okay. Oh, I forgot
Assassin
about
from
Witch
2
Doctor.
and monk and witch doctor from 3. which I guess
Forgot.
maybe it could be Witch Doctor. But I also feel like a fist weapon character would be different than the other characters, and that's what Assassin and Monk really were, especially the Assassin. But don't know. I don't even know if there have even really been any leaks at all for what people think it would be.
Yeah, I'm trying. Like, I mean, I don't keep up with that, but like, I wonder, like, if there's anything. I wonder what they would do that would be like, like, or if they are just gonna like try and repurpose or like reinvent something that like they've used before.
Yeah, I don't know. I would very much be interested in them doing something super new, but yeah, I don't know really what we knew.
Cool. Well, that's probably it for the Game Awards. It was actually a pretty good award show this year.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Rich, you
Wasn't there also some sort of Mega Man thing that they showed during it?
Yeah, there
oh
was a
yeah,
new Mega
they
Man.
announced a new Mega Man game, but
Yeah.
it's Mega Man. Like it's another 2D like basic Mega Man, not X. It doesn't look that different from Mega Man 11. Like it kind of has that more like
2.5D style.
yeah, at least that's what it looked like in the trailer.
Mhm.
So yeah, it's another Mega Man.
Yeah.
Dr. Wily's back probably.
Yeah, something like that.
But what did you think of the ending of My Hero?
I thought it wasn't shit, which is good. I'm annoyed at the power of friendship. So, full spoilers for My Hero Academia. If you have not watched the final episode yet and you want to before you listen to this, pause this here, watch it, and then come back. You know where to find us. Okay, now we can get into it. First of all, I'm gonna say the final season was 11 fucking episodes. They could have fixed.
Was it that short?
Yeah, they could have fixed the pacing and ended it last year. The pacing is what killed it. The fact that the final war takes place over the course of not even 2 hours. Like, I would say maybe at most it's a 2-hour fight. But that takes place across 25 episodes, 24 episodes, something like that. Like, I understand you had a lot. This is the problem with having wars on multiple fronts or having battles on multiple fronts is that you're going to have to jump around and you're going to have to cut back time and things like that. And so it does get a little difficult, and I totally understand that. But the pacing itself was really hurt. And in my opinion, my feelings for this finale were really hurt by the fact that this season was only 11 episodes. You could have made either A, give me just a slightly longer season last season, and instead of doing 20-something episodes, do 30, and altered the pacing a little bit. Or give me more post-war. Give me more of the world and more of the lore after everything. Because after the fight, we got two or three episodes post the war. That's it.
That was essentially the manga.
The manga was like 1 or 2 issues or whatever afterwards, and so I want to know more about everything afterwards. First of all, we'll get into that in a second, but I like that for the first time in almost anime history, you have a redeemable rival who has the best redemption arc ever. I went from hating Bakugo because he was just Sasuke but angry, to him being probably the best one of the better characters in this series.
Yeah, absolutely.
He has the best redemption arc in any series, and him learning about his powers during the final fight and being the one that kills All for One version 1 was just it was chef's kiss. It was an amazing fight. The way they brought him back with the explosion and everything, it was incredible. The Shigaraki Midoriya shit, where it ended up turning into a straight up Dragon Ball scenario where they got sent miles away to Mount Fuji, but that was also very bad because if they were at Mount Fuji, he could make it explode make the volcano explode and destroy all of Japan. It was oh, we got to get away from people.
Actually, I don't remember that happening in the manga.
I don't know. I didn't watch the manga, but or I didn't read the manga, but yeah, they end up going from where they are off the coast of Japan, near the coast of Japan, underneath the UA, to somehow going all the way to Mount Fuji and fighting at the base of Mount Fuji. Um, and in doing so, at one point Shigaraki goes to use decay, and his decay is such a wide range that if he decayed Mount Fuji, he would set off the volcano, and that could destroy Japan. So Midoriya had to work on making sure that he didn't destroy Japan by blowing up Mount Fuji. The idea that the way to win was to transfer One for All into him and use the psyche of the past users to beat him down. Again, it's a shonen, and so you win with the power of friendship. And I don't really like that. It
Oh,
was dumb.
I don't actually mind it usually. I think this was actually just poorly done. Um, it lost all of its kind of like everything at the end there.
Yeah.
Um,
Like, so the whole big point of how he was able to win was the fact that he transferred One for All, or All for One, into One for All. And he transferred it all into him, which his body was already beaten and battered after the fight. And so his body wasn't strong enough to hold up the power. And so they were able to defeat him because he just wasn't strong enough. In a body that had how many abilities to heal? That just that doesn't really make sense. That's total plot armor right there. Um,
I mean that was most of that show realistically.
yeah, yeah,
Like the early seasons were actually a lot of fun. The last like two and a half,
yeah.
and
Like,
I'm including this season in, even though I haven't watched it just from reading it. Like it's not bad. Like some of the action stuff is actually pretty cool. Like you said, like Bakugo's whole arc is actually really good, but
yeah,
most of the
and like,
Midoriya stuff and most of the other side character stuff just felt very forced and unnecessary.
yeah,
Like
and like
in that, sorry, go ahead.
they they do a good job at pulling on the emotions and the heartstrings and having you understand where Midoriya is, but it's just like the execution of how they do it isn't all there, and it's part because of the pacing. Like, if they had just focused on one fight at a time, like, let's do all of this until this point happens, and then all of this until that same point happens and whatnot across the all of the fronts, it would have been better. But like, it also then, with all the extra side characters, it kind of made it feel like, well, why did we have to get to know all these characters? Because most of them were useless at this point.
Yeah.
Like you just like, yeah, it was just it's not a bad ending. It's not. It's
So
not
I thought the
Sopranos.
actual ending was incredibly underwhelming. Like the actual like him like so yeah, I mean full spoilers, so like him completely losing the powers actually is fine. Like a little bit of a bummer,
Yeah,
but
like
like
I don't mind that. Like, after the
but
fact of what he had to, like, winning by the power of friendship was like, all right, that's kind of lame because then he loses his powers. But then it's like, all right, but the way they wrap it up, like, okay, fine, I guess this works, and it's not terrible. Somehow he still passes hero school when he still has 2 years left, but doesn't have a lot of his powers. Like, he's running on embers midway through the second year, and so somehow he passes hero school. And then I was like, all right, well, he becomes like, yeah, like I was a little let down. It's like, all right, he becomes a teacher and he's not a hero anymore. That sucks because
but
the
but then
first
they wrap
episode,
it up with him getting like
getting the
hero
mech suit.
tools to be able
Yeah,
to go be a hero. And
like
I'm like, that's whatever. That was
I
stupid.
like I like that they gave him the mech suit, but like I hate the fact that the first episode is this is how I become the world's greatest hero. And then it's this is how we all became the greatest heroes. Or this is a story of how we became the greatest. No, this was your story. And like what I wanted from this series as a whole was like I really enjoyed the idea of, like, very early on too, of it really being them going to school learning how to be heroes. But for the fact that the entire series took place over the course of a year and a half and they didn't even graduate basically throughout that time, it's like this is kind of I didn't like that. I wish I wish like I wish Midoriya got to be a hero more with his powers before getting the mech suit. I would like that they gave him the mech suit. Like it's like it lets him do what he's always wanted to do. It gives you that like, all right, happy feelings, but also at the same time nobody dies in the final fucking fight besides the villains. Makes
True.
no sense.
And I'll also say like the literally the only two parts of like the big final fight that I thought were even remotely interesting was the parts with All Might and the parts with Bakugan.
Yeah.
Everything else in probably the last season and a half, like, while not bad, and like what we watched of last season, like it wasn't poorly done, poorly paced, but
Yeah,
um,
it all
was like
fell
kind
apart
of like
because of pacing.
filler.
Yeah, like it would if they hadn't paced it to where Todoroki versus Dabi was like 3 fucking episodes and they put it all into an episode. That would have been so much better for the pacing, it would have helped it.
Yeah. And
If
actually,
if
I forgot about that. That whole fight, with like Endeavor and Todoroki and Dabi and stuff, like that was actually good, like good too. But
well it
like you
was
said, they broke it up, they stretched it out, they made it
yeah.
take up way more time than it really needed, so that by the time you get to the end, you're like, oh right, I forgot this was even happening.
Yeah. And like it makes me want more from the series. It makes me want more from the world of the series. And I want to know more of now that Midoriya is a hero again and can be heroing, I want to see him being a hero. Like I want that. I want more from the show beyond just this now. Because like it is an ending in a sense of it's unsatisfying because he lost his power. If they had left it with him having had lost his powers and being a teacher, that would have been a little bit more satisfying than he lost his powers, he's a teacher, which is okay, that's nice. It's a good way to go. He's training the next generations. And then oh, it's unsatisfying now because he can now go back out and fight again. But like also the rise of villains, there's been a drop of villains, so like heroes are going to be less needed now. They talk about that, and so it really raises like what I wanted more than an episode of the post-war world. I want to see more of like quirk advocacy and things like that. Like I want to see more of the world itself. Like so yeah, I agree. Like it wasn't that it was bad, but it was like with the end point of it, it was a little bit like unsatisfying because you get to a point where you're fine with it, and then they add more, and you now want to see that.
Yeah, yeah, I don't disagree with that actually.
Yeah,
Like, like it could have, they could have like kept it going.
yeah, yeah. Um, yeah, but like, I overall, it's it was happy tears. It was like this is a show that I love, that I absolutely adore, that I've watched once a year for what was this season 8, 9? So I've watched through once a year for the last 6 years.
Oh,
Like
that's right, you did always do that. I forgot about that.
yeah, I want, and I will be watching it all straight through again. Probably in a after Bleach ends, I'll probably watch through all of My Hero again. Just to like do because I like to do the each season in the sub when it comes out and then in dub eventually. Like I'll rewatch it again and like see it, but like I don't want to Baruto this, but maybe give
Yeah.
me like a movie or something, a post series movie or something like that.
Honestly, like Naruto, where Naruto had the last, which was what people thought we would get more of with Naruto.
Yeah. Well, yeah,
Because
they
like, did
had.
you ever watch the last?
I don't remember. I don't
So
know.
it takes place like 2 or 3 years post war.
Hmm.
So like Naruto is it. I mean, he's not. They kind of like allude in Naruto. He never gets promoted to Path Genin, but like he's out there doing more missions. It's Sasuke is off like doing his whole redemption arc, and the movie starts out with Hinata's sister getting abducted by the man on the moon, who is Hajiromo's brother,
Hmm.
or like the descendant of Hajiromo's brother, I should say.
Yeah.
And then Hinata gets taken too. and the whole team goes to try and get them back, and there's all that.
Yeah.
The moon starts to crash into the earth, and Sasuke blows it up. Not the moon, the stuff that was crashing into the earth. And yeah,
Yeah.
literally
Yeah.
the only scene of Sasuke in the whole movie is him showing up at like the 0 minute to blow up all these chunks of the moon before it destroys all the villages. And he
Makes
literally
sense.
shows up. He shows up after all the ninjas fail, blows it up, turns it into dust, and then fucks off again. It's very funny.
Makes sense. Yeah, like something like because especially because now like I haven't finished many shonen animes because no one's finished any shonen animes.
I
But
have
what other shonen animes have you finished?
Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball GT, Dragon Ball Super,
See,
Naruto.
I don't count that as finished because it's ongoing across each series.
Eh,
Um
but Naruto, technically the original Bleach.
yeah. But like what I'm trying like I haven't finished many of the shonen animes. However, most of the ones that I know of and have watched and have finished or have seen the endings of, all of the ones that you have mentioned, the hero of the end of it is a straight up fucking god. Naruto's a god. Goku is a god 7 times over. Like at the end of Thousand Year Blood War, Ichigo passes up becoming the fucking Soul King. Or is the Soul King? I don't really know. I know something like that
he,
happens.
he is no, he's no. But
But
yes,
he has the ability to be the Soul King. He is a fucking god. They are all gods. This is like one of few shonens where the characters with god status are no longer around. And so it's going to be interesting to see like them being normal characters.
not only that, but like if you really think about it, like you said, in most shonen shows, the escalation of power is
Hmm.
pretty crazy to the point where like by the end, people are like planetary threats, if not higher.
Yeah, like
Um,
is Gurren Lagann Gurren Lagann's not shonen, is it?
no, yeah, I think it falls under shonen.
Because at the end of fucking Gurren Lagann, the final fight between the heroes and the villain, they are literally throwing galaxies at each other.
Yeah.
Like like they have drilled into the moon, which is a robot in and of itself, to have a galaxy-sized robot at some point, and they're throwing galaxies at each other. Their robot basically is a level of a god. Like even fucking my Attack on Titan. Like Attack on Titan, I don't know if you can consider that shonen, but the end of Attack on Titan is all about a god killing everything in genocide and them having to stop the god. The dumbest ending. Though it made no sense. No fucking sense. But like every anime tends to end up with the hero becoming a god. Well, not every anime, but you get what I'm saying.
yeah, but like if you look at like My Hero compared to like so many others,
Yeah.
even like the top tier like threats weren't all that powerful.
No.
Like Shigaraki in theory could have destroyed the world just because his power was literally just destruction.
Touch. Yeah.
But like it would not have been as simple as like Frieza in Resurrection F blows
Yeah.
up the earth in 3 seconds.
Yeah.
Like
But
like
like
nobody in My Hero is that powerful.
yeah. And now that the characters that or now that All for One is gone and One for All no longer exists, no one ever will or should ever be that powerful, but also there is the quirk theory, and it's like, well, how do quirks eventually do cause the destruction of the world? Does that actually happen? Like again, they say that heroes are less needed by the end of the series. So like there's still research and development and doctors and police officers and things like that. And less people, less kids, they even show it. Less students are going into the hero track and wanting to go into the hero track. They want to do more stuff to make the world a better place. But like there is still that possibility that quirks are going to continue to evolve and get stronger. And those villains are going to show up, and it's going to be nice to see that the power creep of your main characters is now in line with the strongest people in the world and not worlds beyond it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like fucking Bakugo has to be dead or near death in order to access his strongest power. Like it would be interesting to see beyond the world of just the high school. But I also always just kind of wished it was a slice of life high school drama. Like that's also what I wanted from the show.
And that was
I'm
one thing that like those early seasons actually did really well was like the first half of the season was generally like something school related,
yeah,
like the sports thing, the regular training. The one
yeah,
season was like class A versus class B, and then
yeah,
the second half was something, usually a little broader, and like there was always conflict involved. But like, because what was it? It was season 2 or 3 is the one where they go to the camp, and like the camp is mostly training, but like some villain stuff happens. But
yeah.
then the back half of it is the search for Bakugo,
Is
and
Rescue Bakugo. But that season they cut into thirds. So it's the first third is camp. Second third is Rescue Bakugo. Third third is back at school with the campuses now. And they do the festival arc.
right. I thought that was that season, and you
Yeah.
had the other, you had like the what was it, like the internship season, like the actual internship where like Midoriya, Bakugo, and Todoroki all worked for Endeavor. You had the work study one
Well, yeah.
where he goes
This-
and works with Gran Torino, like they balanced like big threats with like more
yeah.
like focus stuff really well in the early side, and then once you hit the
It's
human
season.
liberation front stuff,
Yeah.
it was just kind of like always turned up to 11.
Yeah, because it was I think it was season 6 or whatever when they do My Villain Academia where they teach you about Shigaraki becoming powerful enough, and then season 7 is when they go and attack Jakku and the Liberation Front,
Yeah,
and the war basically starts at that point. But then you get like some of the best stuff like Vigilante Deku and stuff like that, which is really cool, but you don't get a lot of it. It's a couple of episodes, couple of chapters in the manga, and then you go into the final war, which takes place across 2 seasons, but it's only a day, not even. It's like it's a week of planning and then a day of actual, like 6 hours of actual fighting, not even. But yeah, it's good. It's over. I'm happy, sad. Um, I now need to get back into finishing through Bleach before the final season of Bleach comes out. Um, and yeah, and then I'm gonna need, you know what? I guess after I'm done Bleach, I'm gonna get back into Demon Slayer, and then after Demon Slayer, I'm gonna have to find a new anime because I'm out of animes. No, I'm not watching One Piece.
but what if you did?
No.
Then you would
Here's a
never be out of anime.
Exactly. Here's the thing. I will watch One Piece when I'm a full-time streamer, and I get paid to watch TV and stuff.
Dude,
When
one
like
episode a day, and you could be done in 4 years
I don't have that level of dedication.
for one episode a day.
I don't have that. No, I don't. I really don't.
It's
I've
17 minutes,
I
He
don't
has to rewatch The Office.
I don't
and he
know.
and he has
It's
to watch every episode of Critical Role 3 times.
no. I've only watched through season 1 twice.
But you watched every
No,
episode like 2 times or
1.5.
something.
It's like 1.5 times of Critical Role. No, I used to watch it twice when I was subscribed to them, and I would watch it when it would air on Friday, or like Friday, and then I would watch it on I would watch it the Monday it would come out as well. I used to. I don't do that anymore. I unsubscribed to them. But I have been on episode 113 of Bleach for 2 months now because I've been too tired to watch, and like I still have 100 plus episodes of Bleach to watch before the finale. So
Well,
like,
Bleach also had some very aggressively bad filler.
well, I've been skipping the filler. Like that.
Oh,
That's
okay.
I already skipped the Bount arc. Like that's 40 fucking episodes.
What
I went
episode did you
from
say you're on?
113. I'm in the like the
Okay, so the
very beginning
Arrancar.
of the
Yeah.
Arrancar arc.
So it looks like he hasn't gone to do the Vizard training yet.
He's like he's being tormented by the dude who was a captain about training for his Vizard powers, but no, he hasn't done it yet.
Okay. Well, I think that's probably a show.
Yeah, that's a show.
Yeah.
Well, if you would like to find some more of our content, you can head over to www.one-quest.com. You can also help us out by supporting us at patreon.com/onequest. Can't support us there with your dollars, though. You can go to your favorite podcast platform, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Spotify. Rate us, review us, subscribe to us. All of those things help. You can also find us on social media, facebook.com/OneQuestOnline or at @1_Quest on Instagram and Twitter. And our YouTube channel is youtube.com/OneQuestVideo. I forgot Blue Sky, which is at one-quest.com. And you can always send us an email to social@one-quest.com. Rich, what is your streaming looking like?
Twitch.tv/B_Walnuts for video game streamings, Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays. I don't know. Expedition 33 is really the only thing. Like Expedition 33, Sea of Thieves, the new season started last week, so we're jumping in more of that. Maybe some Monster Hunter content. I just got I just reached 10 subs, so we'll be playing some RV there yet in the near future. So yeah, just I don't know. Whatever we feel like playing until Resident Evil comes out. That's really what it is.
Cool. Well, with that, we will be back next week with something else to talk about. Thanks for listening. Bye.
See yous.
Bye.